Hi, it's Chris with Implied Music, and I'm here today with the Gizmo Sunday, and it's by way of an unboxing. I thought long and hard and read the reviews and looked at videos, and I've decided I want to have an Ableton Move. I want to have the little Move box that's kind of like Ableton Live, but it's also a box. You're probably going to have an opinion that I made the wrong choice, but it's the choice that I made. I got one, it came. This is where I'm at with it. I got it open. I've looked at a few videos. I'm just starting to get to use it. Let's take a look at the unboxing video. All musicians struggle to some degree or other with gear acquisition syndrome. I don't want to tell you how many guitars I have. They are all different. We've got to get stuff, to play. And that stuff may be software, it may be hardware, it may be education. It's all part of feeding the brain and feeding the creative and excitement side of doing things, right? So for me, the idea of getting a groove box was kind of a stretch. I mean, if you know the channel at all, I'm mostly interested in, performance questions of harmony, rhythm, melody, things that any instrumentalist could do, things that are the building blocks of the actual music itself, rather than the hardware and the constraints that sometimes hardware can put on us. I think that if I'm honest with myself, I'm probably kind of more of a, analog modular type of person, because that's the way I was trained when I was growing up. I mean, my undergraduate degree is in, the electronic music studio of 1978. You know what I mean? It's a very different kind of world. But because of my work with the trio and a new young bass player who's just really terrific, I wanted to try to kind of branch out into more performance-oriented beat boxes, something that would allow me to do some sampling, something that would allow me to build phrases and then maybe play over them. This is my hope. This is my dream. I don't even know if the Ableton Move is going to be the right beatbox for me, because there are things about my own music that don't fit neatly into conventional boxes. And I think that's probably true for you as well. One of the great dangers with new gear is the excitement of the gear leads us down the garden path of the gear's constraints. And we wind up making the music that the gear wants us to make. You know what I mean, right? This drum machine really wants to do this, and so that's the thing that I do. And I have to really remind myself that that's not what I'm in this business for. I think the best gear allows us to push the gear itself almost like past the breaking point, to go past the original design constraints, to find new places, or perhaps places that are more personal and independent for us. Well, I don't want to beat this into the ground, right? Because I think we've all had exactly these thoughts, right? We've all dealt with just this kind of issue, but there's no question that the excitement of having a new piece of gear is vitalizing. And so I'm kind of like doing something for myself on purpose by getting this groove box. And Ableton's not giving me any. I'm not even sure I'm promoting the thing yet. You know what I mean? This just seems like the right thing for me to do. I'm curious about it. What's going to happen? Well, let's take it out of the box.
Well, I wound up ordering my Move from Sweetwater, and you've got an extra year of warranty. That's great. I've done a lot of work with them, so they know me, and I sort of trust these guys. They always send horrible candy in their packages, and well, okay, I'm just going to give it to my younger students. I'm sure their parents will appreciate that. I'm very eager to see what's in the box. It's well packaged, and it's got a, Apple aesthetic a little bit here. Well, we open it up and see what's going to happen next. At this point, I'm feeling, plenty excited. The device is wrapped in an anti-static sleeve, and it's got some weight to it. It's got some heft. Yeah, you can just tell it's beautifully made right away. Well, let's see, what else have we got inside the box? These getting started and introduction pamphlets are just very minimal, the simplest possible thing. And then a few cables. There's a power cable that is in 2 parts. I guess it's like a, DC converter. And then there's a USB-C cable as well, which, we can flip into the computer or use for other things. And that's the other half for the power. Well, I guess the next thing for me to do is to let's throw away the silicate gel. Read all the warnings and safety issues. Now, the question, of course, in something like this is whether I'm going to read it in German or French or English or Japanese. It's a lot of fine print, and just between you and me, I never look at this stuff. Now, okay, I'm eager to power this up, see if it works. Well, what's going to happen? Well, I'm just going to plop. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to plop this thing down on top of my Osmos, and there's a deck saver there. Power it up. And when you power this little thing up, and of course I do have to figure out exactly where the power switch is. It took me a second to deal with it. It's got battery power, but we've got it powered. I'll see, it's not that button. It's not. Well. Anyway, I sort of remembered. Oh yeah, there's a power button on the back, a little orange button right on the back of the thing. That I, after a moment of thinking, remembered. Oh yeah. After I power it up, it's gonna ask if I would like to connect to Wi-Fi. Absolutely. Because when you connect to Wi-Fi, you can then download the latest update and take advantage of the software that allows you to move samples and new packs from your computer into the Move hardware itself. So it'll scan for your Wi-Fi network. Didn't have any trouble finding mine. Little irritating alphanumeric display to input my password. And it took, I don't know, not very long, if I'm honest. I'm sort of condensing the experience for us here. And it didn't take terribly long to update to the newest OS as well. And apparently there are plenty of updates rolling out all the time. And you want to make sure that you're updated. And that's another reason to stay with your Wi-Fi connection all the time. Well, it restarted. And now I can choose a set. I got the beautiful colored little buttons there. You know how this works, right? Choose a set and play. There's the volume knob. And of course, I just had to fiddle around with it a little bit. Like, okay, that sets the first one. What happens if I just step over the second? The third. They're all apparently made by the same person. And to tell you the truth, this is not really how I want to use this device. And so, no, my challenge, it's true of, any new piece of gear, is this going to be useful for me? What do I have to do next? Well, I've got to watch my tutorials, read the manual, and just make some music. Can I make this work for me? I certainly hope so.
Okay, it's been a couple of days since I shot the unboxing video, and day by day, I've been watching the tutorial videos, learning more about how the overall concept of the thing works. And, delightfully, it's a lot like Ableton Live, which I use with some of my clients and some of my students, although all the tutorials I do are on Logic. I use, just so you guys know, routinely, Logic, of course, Digital Performer, which is terrific for scoring to picture or for theater. And I do use Ableton Live from time to time because I have, a lot of people I work with who use it. And the model that we have here in the Move is very much the model that I've become used to with Live. Now, the question about whether the sounds are right for me, I think I can load in my own sounds. I think I can design my own synth patches. Am I going to be able to do a bunch of music in 7 and 13? I'm not exactly sure yet. You know, there's 16 buttons. I haven't gotten to that place in the video tutorials yet. Fingers crossed. All right, do you guys use the Move? I'd be very happy to hear any thoughts that you have about how I can really take advantage of this new piece of gear. Well, like and subscribe, ding the bell to be notified when I do my videos, and I will see you next time.